Yo, what's up, your buddy Domuto. We're back with another video. Today we're watching Dragon Ball Kakumei, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's how you pronounce it, by Unreal Gaming. Universe 19 is revived, Goku vs. Beerus Rematch, and New Angel arrives. So we watching part 1, of course, today, and you know what I'm saying, we'll check it out. I'm coming to an end to the other stories that I'm watching from Dill Pickle Podcast. He's got a final part. I didn't feel like watching a 40-minute video today. I'm sorry, guys. And but that will be up. What's that? Sunday? This be up Sunday, Monday. You know what I'm saying? So, and then yeah, I'm watching the Shallow Sand. I'm watching another Shallow Sand too, eventually. So let's get into it.
As our story opens up with a brief introduction to both Goku and Vegeta's battle history, as the narration went on to inform the viewers by stating, among all the fighters the Z-Warriors have faced during their odyssey, a formidable new Saiyan had appeared. Goku and Vegeta struggled to beat this mighty foe. Those two ended up uniting their power in order to put down the monster they were facing, Broly, which once more is a direct reference to Dragon Ball Super Broly. As the narration then went on to continue, Goku's pure mind led him to see the goodness within the legendary warrior. Broly was then indebted towards Goku as an inconceivable friendship was born, which based on the illustration goes on to showcase the friendship that was born following the events of both Gogeta versus Broly. As we only then venture back to Earth, the narration continues, while everything was quiet all over Universe 7, an event from the past was going to overcome the future. The consequences of a benevolent action will impact the coming events at a much larger scale, which of course illustrates the case in point of Android 17 having to then make his wish during the events of the Tournament of Power. As we only then venture on over to Universe 6, specifically on planet Sadala, we observe how the God of Destruction Champa along with his angel Vados are present on planet Sadala. As Caulifla went on to comment, Lord Champa, teach me some super secret technique, as it was only during that moment where Champa went on to spill his drink from his mouth. He then went on to ask, what's that? An earthquake? Caulifla asks, because everything on planet Sadala seems to be shaking. As Caulifla went on to respond, so, is this one of the techniques you'll teach me today? As Champa went on to disregard her comment by asking, why is Beerus in this universe? Curious, Vados comments, as Caulifla went on to transform into a Super Saiyan 2 behind Champa, as she went on to then comment, our revenge is getting close, Kale. Goku, just you wait. As it was clear that Caulifla wanted to get back at Goku following the events of the Tournament of Power. As we then venture on over to Universe 11, we only then get to see how Topo was bowing before Belmont, as out of nowhere, all of a sudden, their universe also begins to shake. As Topo comments, Goku? As everything seen on Belmont's planet is then beginning to crack and break, as Margarita comments, oh, it's as if they were really close to us. As we then go back to Universe 7's Earth, we get to see how on the planet itself, there seems to be utter chaos happening as buildings are being blown away, cars are being blown away, and Police Chief Krillin is trying to do everything in his ability by protecting the people and stopping these cars from flying. As Krillin went on to comment, do not panic, get out of the bus one by one, in ordering the people to remain calm as he's trying to protect them. And with Krillin then having to look on up in the sky, he then comments, Goku, don't you feel like your frenzied quest for power is getting too far? Because it would only appear as though all of this is being caused by Goku to some capacity. As we only then make our way back to Goku and seeing what's going on, it was only then clear as Goku was shown engaging against another individual, we only then see how the individual that Goku was going up against in using such power was of course none other than the God of Destruction Beerus, as both Goku and Beerus seem to be engaged in a test of strength and going all out in their fight somewhere in space. As everyone within the universe, including the Oracle Fish, Whis, and the Supreme Kai seem to be feeling the after effects of this battle, the Supreme Kai was then shown having to contact Whis, as the Supreme Kai comments, hello Whis, I'm deeply sorry for contacting you, but the universe is shaking. Moreover, I feel Son Goku and Lord Beerus's auras are going berserk. May I ask for an explanation of what is currently happening? As Whis went on to respond,
they
what's
fight
happening?
that crazy?
Dear Shin, it is the culmination of the training of Son Goku. As of course we then get to see how Goku is infusing even more power within himself in showcasing Super Saiyan Blue. The battle itself involving the two seems to be so intense that Whis is the only one that kind of knows what's going on, as even with Goku having to acknowledge his newly found powers by gripping onto his hand out of nowhere, Beerus went as far as to almost blast Goku's head off. As Goku went on to nearly avoid it, it is more so clear now than ever before that Beerus seems to be enjoying himself himself in this engagement against Goku. As of course the two then go on to attack each other, they miss, and because of that they end up destroying all of the surrounding planets around them, which I think is incredibly spectacular to see the level of impact that these two have, because you can go as far as to almost feel the tension between the two, because assumingly enough Goku's trying to prove his point in the overall idea that perhaps maybe Goku assumes that in fact now he is a lot stronger than...
You know what's funny? People think like in actual Dragon Ball whatever, like Z, Super, whatever, especially Z and Super, Goku, Vegeta, Beerus, well, any god level character on that show can fight like this, like just throw punches, just destroy a planet, low key. I know you gotta think, well, that don't make sense. How they? No, they can, but they got, you know, they have control on their power. They can just, you know.
than Beerus, with of course Beerus having to counter this by reminding Goku that he in fact is the strongest, and with Goku then shown powering up, even while mixing the power of Super Saiyan Blue with Ultra Instinct, Goku attempted to attack Beerus, but
like
to no
Beerus
avail, because Beerus was
planet,
actually
like,
then shown being fast enough to not only avoid and dodge Goku's attack, but also being quick enough to get behind him and kicking Goku directly in the back of the neck, which you can see the level of impact as Goku went on to spew out blood, but he's not done, because from there, Goku quickly went on to turn around by blasting Beerus, but Beerus is simply too fast. Beerus is ducking, dodging, avoiding, and speed blitzing his way all around Goku's attacks, as eventually enough towards the end, Beerus ends up deflecting all of these attacks right back at Goku, and Goku's trying to figure out as to what to do, because as strong as Goku is now, Beerus seems to be matching him all the way through, as there is a massive and yet beautiful explosion scene in space as Beerus is wondering as to what the heck is going on, with Goku really not having any other option but to take the attacks head on. It was only then shown where Goku went on to whoosh away the smoke, and then having to be shown speed blitzing behind Beerus, as Beerus had no idea as to what the heck just happened. Goku was then fast enough in getting behind Beerus and charging up for a massive attack, in which as he did, he was thus able to finally connect in blasting Beerus from point blank range, as you can feel the level of impact from this attack, because Goku's attack alone was able to shatter and destroy multiple planets being shown that were unironically in the way of Beerus and Goku having to battle, and with Beerus being blasted with such force that you could also see that Beerus is having a difficult time in being able to gauge up against Goku, because not only is Beerus being shown battle damaged and there's blood coming out of his mouth, but at the same time this was a strong enough attack that sent Beerus flying not only through multiple planets, but his body was also shown bouncing off of planets, as of course it went on to tear right through. All the while on the other side of space, Goku is shown standing there. He's trying to figure out as to what the heck just happened, if this was a strong enough attack that Goku had unleashed in having to put Beerus down. But then, as unbeknownst to Goku, out of nowhere, Beerus came dashing right back at Goku by grabbing him by the face, in which went on to happen so quickly that Goku wasn't able to register as to how fast Beerus was at that current point in time, as you could see it within Goku's eyes that Beerus was gearing up for a massive attack, in which he was, because as this attack was beginning to formulate within Beerus's palm, he then placed this attack directly in front of Goku's head, which at that current point in time, one can assume that Beerus was in fact ready to kill, because you can see it upon his face that Beerus looks absolutely crazy, which he wasn't afraid on risking the overall fact that he was willing to kill Goku at that moment. But with Goku's instincts then having to kick in before Beerus could do anything to harm him, it was only then shown how Goku was able to slip away and flying past Beerus, and with Beerus having to chase him, there was no doubt that wherever Goku and Beerus had stepped foot on, they ended up fighting in, because there was a calm, cool, and peaceful planet shown with an animal just about to drink water until Goku and Beerus had went on to land on the planet and momentarily until seconds later, they were gone. And as they left, you can see how the planet was literally just stripped of its grass, of its water, and even the animal's fur, because although Goku and Beerus had went on to land on the planet for a momentary second, their overall presence of simply having to be there had affected the entire planet, and with Goku being shown having to flee away, that's when Beerus went on to shout, "Come over here, son Goku," and Beerus looks crazy, and Goku looks worried, because Beerus seems to be enjoying this a lot more than Goku, because Goku now knows that he has to get away from Beerus, that he has to do something in order to distract Beerus.
Not like this.
Then, before Goku could even act, that's when Beerus went on to grab Goku by the leg, and as he did, Beerus proceeded in tugging Goku forward and then having to use him in kind of using Goku somewhat like a ragdoll and having to throw him forward. And as Beerus went on to throw Goku forward, you can immediately tell that Beerus had gone on to use a lot of force and a lot of power in doing so, because Goku's body wasn't able to do much, as of course Beerus followed through by blasting Goku, so Goku's body was then shown having to be on somewhat of a collision course and having to land land on a remote planet that seemingly enough was indeed far away, and Goku had no means of stopping himself because the sheer magnitude and force, as I just said, in which Beerus had thrown Goku with was so strong and so powerful that even as Goku's body is going flying through space, he's coughing up blood, he's trying to garner somewhat of momentum and having to stop himself, as of course his body from there was shown crashing through planet after planet after planet until there was one planet in particular in which Goku was heading towards, and he was heading there with such force that you can actually see the shockwaves of the level of speed in which Goku's traveling in, even through space, as the residing residents of this planet seemed to notice something having to come down from the sky and literally not having a clue as to what the heck was going on in space until one of the children of this residing town had seen Goku fall down, and Goku had managed to hit the ground with such tremendous pressure that it not only went on to create this massive crater within the planet, but you could also go as far as to imagine what the sheer impact and force would be like for a god of destruction to literally throw you with everything he has through space and landing directly down on a planet. There was no way that Goku was able to continue this, as of course his entire face was covered in blood as he had reverted back down to his base form. There's blood all over his face, there's steam coming out of his mouth, as that exact same little kid had just gone on to witness what had happened with Goku having to be lying within the crater. It was only then shown as Beerus was hovering above the planet, he went on to stick his finger up in the sky in creating this massive energy sphere in space which resembles that of the sphere of destruction, in really not having any care in the world for the residents of this planet nor for Goku, because Beerus was going to go on and destroy both of them either way, so it really wasn't any skin off of Beerus's bones. As Goku went on to look up, he was horrified because he knew that Beerus was planning on unleashing something big. So what Goku does is he powers right back up to Super Saiyan Blue, he tries to sit up, and this little kid is scared out of his mind as Goku went on to shout, "Get out of here!" Because Goku knows exactly what Beerus was going to do, and with Beerus then shown smiling, Goku knew that he was going to launch this attack either way. As of course Goku quickly acted in leaving the planet, he then went on to ask, "Why put an entire species in danger, Lord Beerus?" But unbeknownst to Goku, that same little kid that he just told to get out of the way had latched himself on Goku's leg, as Goku was shocked because this little kid is scared, this little kid seems to be crying, but either way, Beerus does not care, because Beerus then went on to respond by telling Goku, "Get ready, son Goku," which instead of sacrificing that little child's planet, Goku went on to a nearby moon. But either way, there was a distraction, which was the little kid that was clinging onto his leg, as Goku knew that he had to protect him, but at the same time, Beerus was just about to unleash this massive attack, in which he did, and as this attack was then shown hurtling towards Goku, Goku was shocked because he didn't know how to act, he didn't know how to respond, he didn't know what to do, so instead, he ends up taking this blast head on, as we get to see how this gigantic sun-like attack had then swallowed the nearby moon that was on that planet, assumingly with Goku intact along with it. Beerus really did not care about anything during that moment outside of besting Son Goku. As we only then venture back onto Beerus's planet, we get to see how Whis was doing his best in preserving Beerus's planet considering all that had happened, because even Beerus's planet itself was beginning to get destroyed, as the Oracle Fish went on to tell Whis to keep on the fight for so long against Beerus. This Earthling is really astonishing. As Whis responds, "They left 30 minutes ago." As the Oracle Fish went to sleep, Whis then went on to continue, "I have a bad feeling. Should I join them?" As the Oracle Fish went on to utter in his sleep, "We'll act up on our own ending. Universes, consequences." As Whis went on to shockingly respond, "Might it somehow be linked to the other current fights? Because there seems to be something going on that only the Oracle Fish and Whis know about." As we only then venture back on planet Earth, as everyone had felt the after effects of this battle, Mr. Satan then went on to comment, "The earthquake just stopped. Boo is hungry. Goku better hurry up," Chi-Chi says. "Look, Pan, it's Mr. Boo." So everyone seems to be together, everything is calm, cool, collected, and peaceful, because they don't truly know what's going on. As of course, on the other side of the planet, we get to see how Gohan's talking to Piccolo, as Piccolo went on to tell Gohan, "Son seems to have come to his training term. Your father will be returning soon enough, Gohan." As Gohan responds, "Yes. Speaking of training, I shall get back to it soon. We never know what might happen." As Piccolo responds, "Glad to hear that. This will of yours to defend your people is admirable, but what about your studies?" As Gohan went on to respond, "I'll find a compromise, Piccolo, because even Gohan now understands that he has to train only because if something were to occur on Earth and Goku and Vegeta are not there, then he's going to be the one responsible for defending his friends, in defending his family, and by defending the Earth, as all the while on an..."
Speaking of Gohan, hold on. 2 seconds.
another distant planet, we get to see how Vegeta is doing his own training by wielding these massive gravity weights that seem to be attached to his arms and legs, as Vegeta went on to comment, "Damn it, I'm stagnating." As Vegeta went on to maintain his balance, he then continues, "All of this training is becoming useless because it seems as though Vegeta is adapting to his training methods and nothing in which he is doing right now seems to be helping him in getting stronger." As all the while, when going back to Goku, we then observe how Goku's entire back, along with portions of his legs, have had all of his skin be burnt off. You can see the muscle, the blood, the bones, and the tissue having to emanate from Goku's body as the steam seems to be rolling off of him, as Goku went on to comment, "Lord Beerus, without my help, a whole civilization would have gone extinguished from your hand." But again, it's not as though Beerus even cares, because he went on to respond by smiling, "Guess I'm just doing my job as a god of destruction." Because in actuality, he doesn't care what happens to any other planet. In fact, he doesn't even care about what happens to Goku.
It's a little graphic.
Goku made that sacrifice by using his back as a means of protecting this kid as a shield, because then Goku went on to tell him, "Don't worry, kid, everything's gonna be alright." And as Goku then went on to collapse, Beerus then went on to respond, "Never had there been a mortal that defeated me in such a fight. Even within gods, rare are those who forced me to use such power." And as Whis went on to make his presence known, Beerus then continues, "However, warrior, you have reached your limits." In essentially telling Goku that there had never been a mortal that was able to beat Beerus in battle, even with the inclusion of some of the other gods. And as Goku falls into this dream sequence in remembering his friends, in remembering Baba, in remembering Vegeta, in remembering his family, Goku then seems to find a bit of comfort and a bit of relaxation in this world, as Goku comments, "It's so nice, but what is this place?" Just when I was getting thirsty, as he looks to be immersing himself within this world, it was only then, where out of nowhere, where on the outside Goku's vessel, Goku's body, is then shown standing up, as a familiar aura then begins to engulf his entire body. Goku had now managed to reactivate the powers of Ultra Instinct in remembering his friends, in remembering his family, in keeping that calm state of mind, as even though it was the sign variation, the omen variation of what Ultra Instinct was, it was only during this moment where Goku went on to take comfort by holding on to this kid, and as soon as Goku then took flight, he immediately then proceeded in dashing right past Beerus and having to bring this kid back onto his home planet. And as he did, Goku's aura then begins to overtake all of space, because there had seemed to have been a massive effect that Goku had created all throughout space-time, in which Goku's very essence is shown shining through within deep space, and Beerus seems to be a tad bit confused by this, because what Goku had then gone on to create by using his very essence, by using that same aura that had surrounded him, was a massive dragon, similar to that of the Dragon Fist, or at least very similar to what we've seen go down in Battle of Gods, the anime of course, which as this dragon had then made its way right towards Beerus, Beerus seemed to have been nervous and asking, "What is that?" But right before anything else can happen, Beerus was struck, and he was struck by this Ultra Instinct Omen-like dragon that had literally shattered everything in space, and you can only imagine the effect that these two are having on the entire universe itself. But it was only then where Goku had gone on to notice something very unusual, as there was a hand then placed on Goku's shoulder, with Goku looking absolutely shook, because Goku had assumed the position that he had at least done something to put Beerus down, but in fact he did not, because the hand that was placed on his shoulder was seemingly enough Beerus's evolved Hakaishin form, because you can see the difference in his aura, you can see the difference in his skin, you can see the symbols on his chest, as Beerus went on to tell Goku, "Be proud, son Goku. I can barely remember the last time I had combined these two powers," which of course is in reference to his Hakaishin form and Ultra Instinct, which is terrifying enough as it is, with Goku's body reacting instantly and moving out of the way. That's when Beerus went on to smile by responding, "Useless. You're as fast as a turtle now to me," but Goku is not giving up, because from there, even though what Beerus is saying might be true in the fact that Goku is a lot slower than what Beerus is now, Goku still refuses to give up, as he went on to charge up for a massive Kamehameha in such a beautiful way that Goku was assuming the idea that this was going to be over once, of course, this Kamehameha had then went on to make contact with Beerus, and with Whis having to look on, that's when Whis went on to respond, "Wow, they are really pushing it. Ultra Instinct combined with his destruction form." Lord Beerus does recognize Goku as a powerful warrior, and with Beerus getting ready, he then went on to respond, "Just when my body was getting rusty," he says. Goku had still continued in trying to put all of his power in this Kamehameha as Beerus was gearing up, but as it came to a surprise to Goku as well as Beerus, Goku all of a sudden had then gone on to lose his Ultra Instinct form. Beerus was surprised, Whis was surprised, and Goku's body was then slowly shown falling through space and onto a nearby nearby piece of rock that was blown up from one of the moons. As Beerus did not know what the heck was going on, as Whis went on to respond, "This form is really hard to control even to him." As an annoyed Beerus went on to respond, "Gah, I was just starting to really get into it too." And as Beerus went on to then power back down, he then went on to remember his planet as Beerus shouts, "Whis, my planet!" Because both Beerus and Goku had literally gone on to destroy everything that Beerus was concerned about his planet, as it was only then shown where Beerus and Whis had made their way onto the sacred world of the Kais. Beerus was then shown having to run towards the Supreme Kai as the Supreme Kai comments, "I wonder which kind of power Goku used to shake the universe." But then, as an angry Beerus went on to swipe away Whis' staff, the Supreme Kai shouts, "Lord Beerus, what is this sudden visit for?" As Beerus went on to use Whis' staff and holding it against Shin's throat by telling him, "Tell me, you could fix my planets, right?" As Shin responds, "Yes," because the only reason as to why Beerus had come here was to force Shin in fixing his planet, in which as they went on to then bring Shin to Beerus' planet, Shin was absolutely dumbfounded as Shin went on to comment, Is that all that remains?" Whis says, "Funny as it sounds, right?" As Shin comments, "But what? What's wrong?" Shin, Beerus asks. "Don't tell me you're not able to do your damn job." No, Shin says, "That's not it. It just might be longer than expected." "Good," Beerus says. "Whis, let's go back to Son Goku. His atmosphere aura will soon expire." In which as Beerus and Whis then go on to take their leave, we then venture on over to the Grand Priest's palace. We then notice inside how all of the other angels are beginning to gather, as there seems to be something unusual happening, in which of course as they all gather together, the Grand Priest then went on to comment, "Thank you all for your presence. You may already know why you're here, but there's one information missing to all of you. Before all, not a single word must leave this place.
It's kind of like another version
if the
of
Omni Kings are aware, heavy sanctions will be issued." As you might already know, Lapis, the Earthling of Universe 7, which is Android 17, had wished to restore the universes which disappeared during the Tournament of Power. The problem here is that it also restored the 7 universes that were a void for an eternity. 7, one of the angels asks? Weren't there 18 universes originally? Not exactly, the Grand Priest says. I never mentioned it to any of you, but there was a 19th universe also called Universe 0. And with all of the angels having to look on, one of them went on to ask, "Why hide it from us, Father?" As the Grand Priest responds, "I could not do so otherwise." "I see," says Margarita. Father might have thought it could never had been, until then out of nowhere, each and every single one of the angels then went on to turn around, as even the Grand Priest himself was seemingly shocked as he went on to utter, "Oh, I should have known," as lo and behold, out of nowhere, in front of all of the angels standing before the Grand Priest, there was another angelic being that went on to make her presence known, as this being went on to comment, "The one you all refer to as Father is just a coward, afraid to face his own past actions." "Just who the hell do you think you are to judge, Father?" one of the angel asks. "Calm down, Mojito," says Margarita. "We must remain neutral despite the situation." "Kneel down," the angelic woman says. "Don't you realize how much you all are ignorant? I never abandoned you. Let me tell you about this imposter's past," the woman says. In which as these angels are now beginning to put this into question in wondering about who this woman is, it was only then where the Dragon Ball Super Kakumei manga chapter number 1 special then comes to a close. Now, what I absolutely love about this revamped version of Dragon Ball Super Kakumei is the fact that we get to see more of a chaotic showcase between Goku and Beerus, and it even goes as far as to illustrate the case in point that Beerus has something more than what he's revealing on the surface now, and that Goku has a long way to go before mastering Ultra Instinct, and because of this, the sheer force and impact of their fight went on to destroy multiple planets within Universe 7, but also their overall influence was felt throughout the multiverse, which goes on to kind of raise more questions than answers, and kind of asking the question as to how strong Beerus and Goku truly are as of this current point in time, but also to see the level of brutality behind their battle. Do I think it's more than fitting for their characters to see which one of them is in fact the strongest, but on top of that, to also see the gathering of the angels and the mother of the angels having to then be revealed. It was something that was introduced a very long time ago, and to now see this come back into fruition, do I think is a very cool thing to see what the overall direction is going to be going forward, as of course we are going to be keeping you guys locked on the channel in what happens for chapter number 2, as of course if you guys enjoy.
Alright, I like the first chapter, man. Let me know how y'all feel about this down below, man. This story can get very interesting. The mother of the angels, it can be crazy. And that Beerus and Goku fight was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I like the illustration on this. Anyway, yeah, man. If y'all want to see another Beyond Dragon Ball Super story, you know what I'm saying? I'm watching all of them. I got, God damn it, bitch. the end of the video. The end of the video. Anyway, like I said, bro. Yeah, this story is cool, man. I really do like this story, man. The mother of all the angels and stuff. That's crazy. I'm really, you always in your bag. You always in your bag, man. So anyway, if y'all want to watch another Beyond Dragon Ball Super, look, I watched the Murno top 5 strongest art. You know, I'm gonna have that both here and there. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll catch you next time. Peace.